Night Nation. This is Miles, otherwise known as _all_night_ on Twitter and X, and you're watching this week's segment of Saturday Sleepers. If you've been following along, I'm happy to be working with Sons of UCF this season, giving out some weekly picks on a little column we like to call Making Moves with Miles. I like to say that we're making money right now. I'm currently 10-5 on official picks so far through the first couple weeks of the season. Full card for the season, I'm 22-11-1, so we've started off on a hot streak. And today I'm going to bring you a couple of my favorite sleeper picks for the weekend. These aren't going to necessarily be official picks, but as the week has gone on, these are some of my favorites. So you can find my columns each week on sonsofUCF.com, where, like I said, I pick some of my favorite games between Big 12, top 25. Every once in a while, I'll slip in a little off-the-radar game. And then, of course, UCF games as well. So, like I said, proud to work with Sons of UCF, and here's Saturday Sleepers. So the first game I want to talk about may not necessarily seem like a sleeper pick or a sleeper game because it is an ACC opener, but we're going to talk about Florida State traveling up to Boston College. Currently, the line is set to favor Florida State by 26 points. And the over-under set at 48. Castellanos has looked great at times, and he's looked young and indecisive at others. We all saw that video game-like highlight reel from back in week 1, where 4th and 5, he gets in a little trouble. He scrambles around, actually backwards like 30 yards, comes back upfield and throws a dime to gain 5 yards. Those kinds of plays aren't going to cut it. We need him to be more consistent, and I don't know if that's going to be able to happen. He can make something out of nothing, but if your quarterback is your leading rusher and he's also throwing into triple and double coverage and throwing interceptions and not taking care of the ball, that's not going to play out well. Another thing we need to look at for this game is they're going to be dealing with weather. So this is what I'm going to call a weather pick. I am taking under 48 all day. Under 48. The line opened at 54.5, and throughout the week it's already dropped over 6.5 points. I would take this line even under 45. But at kickoff, currently the weather looks like it's going to be about 25-mile-an-hour winds with gusts up to about 40. It's going to be rainy, it's going to be damp. The rain is not as much of an issue, but with that wind, I don't know how many passes we're going to see going down the field. This is going to look like maybe a little Army-Navy action.
Run the ball. Run the ball.
Florida State's going to get up. They're going to get up about, I would say they're going to go up a few touchdowns, and then they're going to go on cruise control and just get out of Dodge and get out of there with an ACC win. So this week, give me under 48. The next game I want to talk about is a little more off the radar, and this one is probably one of the best games of the weekend, and most people aren't going to be watching it. It's going to be in the Sun Belt Conference, better known as the Fun Belt. We're talking about James Madison going to Troy. Currently, the line sits to favor Troy by 3 points, and the over-under for points total is at 46.5. This is going to be JMU's first Sun Belt game of the year, and only their second year in the Sun Belt Conference. If you remember back, they actually had made the transition from FCS to FBS, which doesn't happen often. But going back to last year, they actually would have played Troy in the conference title game had they been allowed to. Due to some dumb college football rules, apparently you cannot play in a conference title game your first year in the FBS. So coming into this year, they were both voted to win their respective divisions within the conference. So these are two top dogs in the Sun Belt going toe to toe. And if you look at the stats, at first they look to be pretty evenly matched. This is where we get a little different. JMU seems to be a little more consistent and takes advantage of those yards. JMU averages 37 points per game. Troy, 30.5. JMU only allows 19 points a game. Troy allows 36. And then we look at turnover margin. JMU is +1 in the turnover margin. Good place to be. Not bad, not great. Troy, not so good. -4 in the turnover margin. So, looking at this game, James Madison, they're coming off a big win. Just last week, they beat Virginia. They scored 12 points in the fourth quarter unanswered to be able to win that game 36-35. Like I said, looking at this game, looking at all the numbers, JMU's on a hot streak. They've been a good program for years. Going back to the FCS, they won 6 conference titles in their last 8 years in the FCS. and that included 3 championship appearances, and they won a title in 2016. So they've been successful. I'm taking James Madison plus 3 points. Give me the field goal. They're going to go into Troy. They're going to take care of business. This has been Saturday Sleepers.